Oregano oil, bacterial vaginosis, and yeast infections. Let's talk about it. If you are looking for natural remedies for bacterial vaginosis or yeast infections, oregano oil is one of those things that may come up. But is it safe to use on your vagina? So, the reason that oregano oil is believed to help with yeast or bacterial vaginosis is because of the active ingredient in oregano essential oil, which is called carvacrol. When it comes to bacterial vaginosis, some studies have found that carvacrol can help against certain bacteria. So, for example, in one in vitro study, carvacrol was shown to be effective at killing Staphylococcus aureus, but not as effective as traditional antibiotics. Another study looked at topically applied oregano oil that was being used to clear biofilms from wound infections that are usually resistant to antibiotics. Okay, but what about yeast infections? Well, one study that was done on rat vaginas found that carvacrol decreased the amount of yeast, but the problem with this study is that it didn't compare it to a typical antifungal treatment. And while animal studies are helpful, sort of overarching pattern is that these tests were done in labs or on mice, and that's not the same as testing in a human vagina. The other thing that's important to know is that one study found that carvacrol actually limits the growth of lactobacillus species, which are the protective bacteria that live in your vaginal microbiome and help ward off things like bacterial vaginosis or yeast infections. And unfortunately, like most things in women's health, there really isn't any research or studies on oregano oil in the vagina and its effectiveness against vaginal infections. So while its antimicrobial properties are promising, it's really unclear whether it works against yeast infections or bacterial vaginosis and whether or not it's safe to use vaginally.